Hi, Karina Gardner here, and today I'm going to show you how to put together these drink labels that I have in my Silhouette shop. But just so you know, this is really my tutorial for dealing with printouts when you don't have registration marks. So I'm going to show you how I build a template for myself on my Silhouette machine, just so that I can lay my printout in it if I don't have registration marks. So let's get started with that. So I'm just gonna show you, I have these cutouts, I guess printed is what I should say, and these are centered and they fit my bottle that I have purchased. So if you have a different kind of soda or whatever, you can scale these down. You can see I have several drink labels in my shop for you so that you can do that. Now what you're gonna do is take a regular piece of paper, because you can see these don't have registration marks on them, because I had them printed not at home but at a printer. And so, because I wanted it to be high quality. So sorry, I've got my mat stuck here. What I'm gonna do, I am using the plus today, but you can use the portrait because I'm just using letter size paper. This is very precise. You need to make sure this is exactly centered on this. And I'm gonna actually have to lay this down to make sure, because what you're gonna do is you're going to recreate everything I am doing here multiple times to cut everything out. So once I have this completely on, and notice I've done my best to really line it up, when I put it into my machine, I am going to make sure it lines up perfectly, that plastic end with this. Why? You will see why. The other thing that helps is having a stickier mat, because it's gonna help when we go to readjust everything. Okay, so lined up, I'm gonna go ahead and put it in, and it got off. So I'm gonna pull it out and do it again. I'm gonna do it again until it really is perfectly aligned. There we go. Because this is the lineup I need to do every single time. When I'm just regular cutting, if it gets a little off, it's really not that big of a deal. But with what I'm doing here, so what I'm gonna do is now I'm going to cut what I have on my Silhouette machine in the software. I'm going to cut the box out that normally would be cut with this, right? But it always is a little off, especially without registration marks. And so I'm gonna go ahead and cut it. I'm going to fix my settings and make sure that it's gonna work nicely. It looks like it wants me to send it in again. It can't read it, so we're gonna try again. Line it up. Oh, the other thing I need to do is this can be set up to my mat. And make sure it's lined up again. Okay, hopefully that will read it this time. Okay, so you can see it's cut out a perfect square. And granted, you could hand cut something like this, but why I'm showing you this, the way I'm showing it to you, is because very, very often I'll have intricate things and stickers, and this is exactly how I do it. So I'm gonna pull out the center of this, okay? And where I want this cut is in the center of this. So what I'm gonna do is, normally you would line it up, right? You would just line it up here, but I suspect, and I know, I can just even see it, it's off. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to pull up, okay? But I need to make sure that this is still on. And then what I'm going to do is try to line this up so that this edge matches up with this cut. Now, if it's not lined up all the way, or I mean, you're worried about it coming off all the way, I will use a piece of tape to hold it down, just like that, okay? And that way, when I go to pull it up, it just comes right up like this, which is great. And I'm going to insert this where I think that edge or that line is. See, like if I laid this in right here, right now, that would be incorrect, right? You're basically using it as like a stencil or a template. You can even lay it on this side. And see, one of my issues is this is too thick. So I'm just gonna cut this down And once again, I was gonna say, it's like you could easily cut this with scissors. It wouldn't be a big deal, but there are lots of projects out there that I have with stickers that have crazy, wonderful cuts that you could do this with, and it would make your life that much easier. All right, so I'm gonna lay this out. I'm like showing you with the easiest type of project. Yeah, I feel like it might be still a little off, but it's pretty close, so we're gonna go ahead and cut it that way. Now notice the way I've got it set up here. There's no way I would have set this up like way up here, except for I had cut it that way. Okay, don't change the settings on your Silhouette software. Don't change the settings on your machine. Make sure and line this up as close as you can, put it in, and then you're going to go ahead and send it through. And hopefully it will cut perfectly for you. All right. See how it is cut perfectly? Like that line is correct. Let's see if I can show you better. Okay, so see how that line is correct? So if I were cutting this out and I had a bunch of stickers and they were all over the sheet, it would match up and line up and cut nicely. It looks like I'm gonna have to cut this through one more time just because I'm using thinner paper than I normally would. But once you get this cut out, I'm gonna show you how I put it on the bottle just to make it super simple. But this is the method I use. You can see I need to trim it. I need to pull it off right here. But this is the method I use when I have tons of stickers and intricate cuts all on a single page. Okay, so all I'm using is tape for this. If you want this really, really on, like very, very tightly placed on this, then you can use something else. But these are set up to fit perfectly on these bottles. Most of my drink labels though can be sized up or down. So all you're gonna do is bring it all the way around. You can see it fits pretty closely right here. And I'm just gonna throw a couple of pieces of tape. Like how easy is that? And what it will do is it will just make your drink stand, or if you're having a party, it will just make it look so much more just like nicer, pretty. Here, let me flip this around so you can see it. How cute is that? So much better than the label that you see next to it, you know, like that's gonna come off as cuter at a party. So I'm gonna go ahead and tape the rest of these on and then show you what that looks like. Okay, last one. Aren't those all super cute? I did also get the pumps for the tops of these to make Italian black soda. And once again, I want to emphasize that you can change the label size or you can cut them thinner. So that's the other nice thing. There's so much extra space between the label that you can trim it down to whatever size you need it to be. Okay, if you are not subscribed to my Silhouette shop, make sure, or my Silhouette VIP, that's what I meant. You need to join at KarinaGardner.com, click on VIP. I send out free files every single week. So you're gonna wanna get in on that, and I will see you soon.